Imagine you have 60 minutes. You can spend them in a meeting, you can finish an important task, you can go for a walk, call a loved one, or just watch a video on your phone. We usually think, I chose the meeting. But that's not all that happened economically. You simultaneously gave up all other options. And that's the cost of your choice. Every choice is a rejection. Here's a simple definition. Opportunity cost. The cost of the chosen option is the value of the better alternative you gave up. Example, 2 hours in the evening. Option A, watch a TV series. Opportunity cost, 2 hours working on your own project, workout, sleep, time with family, education. Important, don't say the TV series is bad. Key point, the cost of the TV series isn't the 2 hours. The cost of the TV series is the best you could do with those 2 hours. In economics, there's the concept of opportunity cost. By choosing one option, you automatically forego all others. The cost of choice is the value of the best alternative you forego. In life, we ignore this law. We think saying yes is free. But every yes is a no to something else, and often to the most important thing. We don't feel the value of time. Money behaves differently. When we spend money, the balance decreases, the bank displays the transaction, we see the amount, sometimes we even receive a notification. When we spend time, nothing happens. No receipt, no notification, no message. You just wasted 47 minutes of your life. The invisible tax on life. You agree to a meeting for 30 minutes. In reality, 1 hour, commute plus conversation plus switching. Opportunity cost? 1 hour of deep work, a walk with the child, a workout, or just silence. You didn't spend time. You invested it in a choice you didn't consciously make. Gary Becker, a Nobel laureate, showed that people systematically underestimate hidden costs, especially when they're not expressed in monetary terms. Time is the most invisible of them all. It doesn't write a check. It doesn't send a notification. It simply disappears. The real cost of choice. A great visual example. You said, yes, of course, I'll meet. What you really said was no to 1 hour of deep work, to a workout, to a walk, to rest, to a conversation with a child, to a personal project. And a very powerful phrase, every yes has a hidden no. But there's an even stronger version. The problem isn't that we say yes. The problem is that we often don't know what exactly we've said no to. Why we make systematic mistakes. Here, Becker's approach could be used briefly, but I wouldn't turn the presentation into an economics lecture. Key idea. People are good at seeing direct costs. I paid 5,000 rubles, but they're bad at seeing hidden costs. I lost 3 hours. Because money has value now, and time often has value later. Example. Today, I missed my workout. No big deal. A month from now, why am I still not in shape? Today, I won't work on the project. I'll do it tomorrow. A year from now, why haven't I started yet? Today, I won't call my parents. I'll call on the weekend. And then you suddenly realize that years are made up of precisely these small decisions. Framework. Alternatives matrix. Before each significant yes, ask 3 questions. What am I sacrificing with this choice? Specific area. How important is this area to my 3-year-old self? 1 to 10. Can I delegate, reduce, or eliminate it without long-term losses? If the score is greater than 7 and the area is critical, health, loved ones, key project, the choice requires conscious reconsideration. The most dangerous illusion? I don't have time. This is where the emotional part begins. On the screen, you may not have a problem with the amount of time. You may have a problem with how you manage it. We all get the same amount of time in a day, 1,440 minutes. But the difference between people is often not how many minutes they get. It's what they allowed other people,
apps and random circumstances to do with those minutes. Our Lifetime app demonstrates this very well. Link in the profile header.
The alternatives matrix. Now for a practical tool. Before making a significant yes, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What am I giving up with this choice? Not, what am I doing? A. What am I giving up? Examples: health, family, sleep, personal project, education, peace of mind. 2. How important is this to myself in 3 years? Rating from 1 to 10. For example, area, importance. Health, 10. Family, 10. Main project, 9. Infinite feed, 2. Someone else's urgent task, 4. 3. Can I change the cost of this choice? Delegate, cut, reschedule, give up? Rule: if a choice takes time away from an area with an 8 to 10 importance, it's no longer just one more task. It's a trade-off, and it should be made consciously. Example matrix. Let's say a colleague asked me to help for 2 hours. Initial reaction? Yes, no problem. But let's look at the opportunity cost. What am I wasting? Work on my key project. Importance to my 3-year-old self? 9 out of 10. Can the price be adjusted? Help in 30 minutes? Explain once? Delegate? Reschedule? Result: this doesn't mean you should always say no. It means now you understand what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to.
Journal of invisible losses. Every evening, write for 3 minutes. Today I said yes. The alternative I rejected. How will I feel in a month if this becomes a pattern? In 2 weeks, you'll see not a to-do list, but a map of compromises. And you'll be able to begin trading, not with external demands, but with internal values. The most unpleasant discovery. You're not just wasting time. You're constantly trading the future for the present, for the momentary convenience, entertainment, other people's urgency, procrastination, habit. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need to watch a TV series. Sometimes you need to do nothing. But the difference between conscious rest and uncontrolled time wasting is that in the first case, you chose rest. In the second, you simply chose nothing. The most unpleasant discovery: you're not just wasting time. You're constantly trading the future for the present, for the momentary convenience, entertainment, other people's urgency, procrastination, habit. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need to watch a TV series. Sometimes you need to do nothing. But the difference between conscious rest and uncontrolled time wasting is that in the first case, you chose rest. In the second, you simply chose nothing.
What Lifetime does, and only here would I introduce a product, not as, here's our app, download it, but as a logical solution to the problem. Text. Lifetime helps you see the value of your choices. You see how much time you spent on work, how much on tasks, how much on your own goals, how much on things that happened by chance. But most importantly, you begin to see not only what you did, you begin to see what you didn't do.
Not control, freedom. Lifetime isn't about being productive every minute. It's not about personal optimization, turning life into Excel, maximizing efficiency, feeling guilty about rest. On the slide, not every minute should be productive, but every minute should be yours. Every day you get 1,440 minutes. You can't save them, return them, buy more, ask for more. But you can choose who and what gets them. The question isn't where your time went. The question is what you chose instead of what's truly important. Why this changes everything. When you begin to see the opportunity cost, busyness loses its aura of virtue. You stop being proud of getting it all done,
and you begin to appreciate choosing what matters most. Lifetime. To see not only the time you've lived, but also the cost of your choices.